I'm Eduardo Ferreira, Director of Artistry and Education of Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, and I'm here today in Annabella with this beautiful, amazing face. We're gonna learn today how to do a beautiful, natural, however chic bridal look. If you're gonna get married, you're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna start first from the skin, which is the most important. Skincare is very important. So we need to make sure this area has to be glowy, and the T-zone we have to make sure that during the day is not gonna shine. So I have something which is my favorite thing, which is the Repair Nourishing Milk. It has emulsion moisturizers and it gives you water and everything is natural. You will love this. And I really press it here on this area. I want this area to be very glowy. Vitamin enriched face base. It's really my favorite thing because it's a two-in-one. It's a moisturizer, oil-free, and at the same time, it's a primer to makeup. Sounds good, also. Is it? And look at, you cannot smell it, but I like to do brushes. You don't need to do that at home, but I will explain you why I do it, because with brushes, I can see how the moisturizer is getting into the skin. I always start from this area because this is the area that will need more moisture. And with very little amount, I will do T-zone, because on T-zone, it's warm, it's beautiful. Here in Belgrade, the weather is warm like you Serbians. You're very warm. And because of that, I have to make sure that the T-zone will not shine. So I'm doing very little moisturizer on the T-zone. I have a tip for you. I always like to use a sponge after I did moisturizers to make sure that the skin is not wet. There is this idea, some people say you have to wait that the skincare gets in before you do foundation. You don't. You have this friend of yours, so I'm just removing whatever is not necessary, because it's important that the skin is smooth but it's not wet. I'm going to use extra eye repair, very little, because I don't want the concealer to melt. And this is actually the first step, which is skincare, which is actually very important. But I have something for you that I love. I can't live without this guy. It's illuminating moisture balm, right? It energizes your skin, but at the same time it has a blend of pearls that will make you glow. Of course, if you are a bride, do not forget to do all this area. Look at the glow, look at how immediately the skin is glowing. Sometimes, and the little rest I have here, I use it already here on this area, because remember it has pearls. And I will use highlighters, but since something that you have to make sure when you're doing bridal, when you're a bride, you have to make sure that you don't use shimmer on top of your face, because otherwise when you take pictures, it's going to blow, right? So every shimmer I will use under the foundation. This is something you should have. Instant full cover concealer, my favorite stuff. Look at how beautifully it really blends. I try to put all the light before I do anything else. Concealer achieved. I'm gonna show her. Can we have a mirror? I'm gonna show you how it looks. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
You see? Yes. And now you need very little foundation, right? And this is the most important thing. Everything you do is to do little foundation. If you think that a foundation that is waterproof, that a foundation that is sweat resistant, that a foundation that is swimming pool party resistant, that stays 16 hours, 16 hours, and it looks super natural. It's not a dream, is Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. I'm gonna test the color. Do not test the color on your hands because it's not gonna look natural. So you test the color on your forehead, here in the center, right? And if it really blends and disappears, and if I don't see it, this is the right one. The color, it's beige. You are a beige girl. How do you apply foundation at home? With fingers, with sponges?
With brush.
With brush.
Especially for the night.
Yes, you see?
For the day, I really don't use actually
Foundation.
Just concealer.
Because you have a beautiful skin, right? What I do usually is I actually use everything. I use the brush, I use my fingers, and at the end I use the sponge. What I'm doing right now is that make sure you don't do foundation all over the face. You don't need the same coverage all over the face. So that's why I always start here from the side of the nose. And my favorite brush is foundation brush. And don't use a huge, I'm using really small amounts of foundation. I do it here. I actually do all the center of the face, because it's actually where you need most of the coverage. And I love already what is happening here. Though the foundation is matte, because I did the highlighter underneath, look at how the cheeks are super glowy. I like to contour the eyebrow. So now I want to do a little bit more coverage on some areas. So I use my finger. Usually it's here. I'm going to do a little bit more coverage around the nose. And I really like very much the finishing. I don't do foundation on the neck. See the difference? One half with the other. No contrast. Actually, you don't see contrast with the skin tone. However, look at the difference. Flawless skin. You want to see the difference? Every time when you're doing makeup for wedding, make sure you use a long wear formula. And if it's waterproof like this one, is even better. So let's do the other side. If you have that best friend of yours that you go out or you go to have a coffee and she tells you, "Oh, I love your foundation," it means the foundation is wrong and that she's not your friend. Take her away of your list. She's being mean with you. Foundation has to be invisible. Now the skin is even. What I need to do is actually set up the makeup with powder, but that's a big mistake when you do powder everywhere. Now I need to look at her. She's shining on the T-zone, right? And that's it. So I will powder only that area. And look at how I powder. I don't do fall. The powder is not changing the color of the foundation because actually I spend quite a while to find the right one, right? So if the foundation is right, you don't need to do too much powder. Look at the skin. Do you like the skin how the way it is?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right? So now that the skin is ready, I usually like to go straight to the eyebrows because the eyebrow will really make the whole frame. For the eyebrows, like everything I use when I'm doing bridal makeup, I want everything to be waterproof. So I'm going to use the perfectly defined long wear brow pencil. First of all, I test the color, and if I don't have any contrast, it means the color is right. Espresso, I can tell here in Serbia this color will be very popular. So then afterwards what I do is I define the arch, because this actually look at just what this little touch, what is happening. Then afterwards, I define the arch on top, being classic, not getting too crazy. Since I am obsessed about waterproof, I love to do waterproof brow shaper. It's waterproof. It will hold your hair, and look at how eyebrows are so important, with the eyebrow and without the eyebrow. That's why it's usually after the skin is what I do. Sometimes you don't have your natural hair color. Do not color the eyebrow. Do not follow the color of your hair if the hair is not natural. The color of the eyebrow has to be the natural color. And if you're very blonde, think about Madonna or think about Marilyn Monroe. They have really these dark eyebrows. It looks awesome. These are my favorite guys. Eyeshadows, I don't use powder eyeshadows when I'm doing wedding because the powder eyeshadows usually they don't stay. This longwear cream shadow sticks, they are also water resistant, they are waterproof. You can cry, everything you decide to cry. So I'm going to use basically 3 colors. Make sure you choose nude colors. I'm going to use first of all truffle. It's a beautiful skin tone like color. Do it with your finger. And I like to do it with the finger because with the finger I get more transparency. Avoid shimmer formulas on the eye because they might blow up with the flashes. So this base, what it's doing is it's actually getting rid of any redness, and at the same time I'm giving coverage and I'm creating a nice clear base for the eyeshadows I'm going to use. So now I'm going to get nude beach. It's going to be a color that is really close to her natural. Looking down. If you want to do your makeup when you're getting married, make sure don't change your features. It's actually not worth it. So now with the brush, I just really blend, because the idea is you cannot see any of the edges. So it has to be a soft, nice transition, right? It's working already. And this color is beautiful because it's also, it enhances the color of your eye. I need definition. So definition, either I can go liner, and I'm going to teach you something that it's kind of trendier. I'm going to do a smudgy stuff, but that still it's natural. And I'm going to use this color, which is bog. It's really a dark one, right? So with this little guy, which is a brush, the name is Smoky Eyeliner. I'm going to actually give definition looking down. And I like to start here on this area because what I want is to create dimension. And now I'm going to go even a little bit more, a little bit stronger. So I'm using this eyeshadow as if it is a liner. Now with my little brush, make it happen by smudging with the eyeshadow I have on underneath. And now with my finger, I'm giving more intensity here. And now I'm going to do the bottom with the same bark, looking over that. And it's important that this angle here, you really make it happen. I like to work on this angle like this, and then immediately your eye looks pretty bigger. I love this mascara, Smoky Eye Mascara, to me, because of this. I don't need to tell anything, right? Then upwards, I like to work with the lashes on the bottom, just one by one. I love these guys here. Brightening brick. It will give me the brightness that I need. You smile. And I do the blush here. Down. I know some of you, down? Yeah, because down it will really sculpt the cheekbone. Look at when you move with a highlighter on the bottom that I did under the foundation, and with this blush, look at how it really glows. Finally, I'm gonna do lipstick. On the lip, I'm gonna go very natural. If you are getting married, never ever go brown or peach or orange. You're gonna look like so tired, you're gonna look like so dull, that if you didn't cry when you said yes, you will cry when you look at the picture. When I'm doing bridal, I like to line the whole lip. That will make the lipstick stay longer. This look, you can change it, because we were talking before, and I know it's gonna be a party afterwards. And with the intensity of the eye, you easily can change the lip into red lip, and the look, it's really balanced. And you like glossy, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Or you like glossy, 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 or just like...
glossy, glossy for the disco party,
but
for
today, so this is a good
glossy
thing. Soft glossy. So then I have something I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna use a lip balm, which is kind of my favorite, is lip balm. I use it myself because it has no color. And that will bring, look at this. Ha, 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 ha. And you see, this is very much about what I said. Don't be trendy when you do your makeup for wedding. And nowadays the trend is, it's matte. But what about when the trend is not going to be matte, and on your pictures you look matte? That will look weird. So this is kind of a nice option to just complete the look. I can actually do a little tiny bit here as well. A little shine on this area. She's ready to get married. And you see, it's natural. Natural for a bride doesn't mean washed out. You really need to pick up one of the features to enhance today, because we have this beautiful, amazing eye with this soft, smoky eye. And the most important thing is that the skin looks natural, that you wear like you're wearing nothing. You like it?
Yes, it's amazing.
Good.
Thank you.
If you like it, I'm happy. Mwah! And don't cry too much. But you can, because now everything is waterproof. Bye!